Hi guys, welcome back. A quick one today. Well, I always say a quick one, but you know what it is. I just wanted to answer a couple of questions that were asked when I've done the little pots. You know, these little things. One of the first ones was why, or not why, but couldn't I get two of these out of that rather than turning the one and wasting it? Yes, I do, and that one actually is the other half to that, and that is how I normally would turn them. But the reason I did it out of that one was purely for demonstration purpose, because I was demonstrating the tool, and if I use that, literally a few cuts and it's done, where I wanted to show how the tool can work for doing things like this. And the other reason, I see so many people ask questions, new turners ask questions about turning things like this, you know, square blocks, do they have to make it round, is it safe to do? And they never really get an answer to their question when they ask these questions on Facebook and that. So I thought, well, I'll show it, and yes, it's very safe and you can turn them, you can just pop it on there and turn it and it's fine. But normally, no, I would turn them like this. But the thing is, these are just scraps. I'm doing them purely for fun. And I'm not worried about the waste. I'm not doing this for work. I'm not doing this to earn money or so. I mean, they're so, you know, literally, I mean, I'm just turning these. The woman's wants them. I found out actually, because she did say she's not just putting, because she actually watched the video, she said she's not actually putting crystals in them. What she's doing is, because she said to me, don't worry about finishing the insides of them. Doesn't need to be done, because what she does, they glue a piece of like cotton type cloth material, and then it gets the stuff put inside it, and then they bring it up and tie like a bow on the top, so it looks a bit like, you know, pudding in a cloth. It's all I can remember it as. When I remember as a kid, you always had the steamed pudding. It was done in a cloth in a basin, and I tied the top like that. You know, all you guys probably older than me, you know, would remember it. I barely remember it.
I don't remember it at all.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, so anyway, that's what's being done. So it's like the inside, I wax it and do it anyway, but it doesn't matter. But she said it doesn't have to be done, because the bit of rag gets bit of cloth, bit of cotton, bring it up, tie a little fancy bow around the top, and that's what they're going to be. And then it's actually going to sell the actual whole thing, so that's fair enough. I just do them to get rid of the bits. It's fun turning. It's not work for me. This isn't work. You could never earn a living making these sort of things. You'd have to make so many of them. I mean, I basically do it as like cost of wood and £1. That's it. £1 for the pot and the cost of the wood, and that's all she pays me for them. And I just knock out however many she wants. She sells them. She's happy. Another question, sorry, was why did I turn it this way and not like this way and not as a spindle? Okay. Right, main reason, there's two, it's not a main one actually, because there's two reasons. One, I love turning things like that, put it on, spin it round, and go in there with a spindle gouge or something. I love it, it's just for pure fun. That's why, main reason. Other reason, probably the more important reason, if I turn it like this as a spindle, okay, now the grain, as you see there with this U, we've got this stripe down here, and then the rest of it is pretty just plain, okay? And when you turn it end grain, what you'll get is this. So your grain pattern is like that, which is just straight down, okay? And for me, I find that's pretty boring. Now this piece was done. Now if I turned that end grain, it would have ended up with a pattern like that. Because I turn it bowl grain, I get this patterning going all the way around, see? So I get all the different patterns going round. And that would be the same with this. It would just have a strip down one corner, but because I've cut them into the little blocks, and I'm going to turn them, I've put the worm screw, I'm going to turn it that way, so I will get this bit of patterning somewhere around the side of the little pot. And that's why. And the reason I was doing these was more to demonstrate the tool. It's the 15mm round on a 16mm round bar. Sorry, a little bit thirsty. Today I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do it with the 12mm round, okay, on a 16mm round bar. Now, very overkill for this sort of thing, but it's to show what these tools can actually do, and that it, you know, not necessarily too big. But like I said, for me, preferably on the outside of these, I'd rather use a spindle gouge. And I like to use all the tools, mainly because it makes it fun. I can't be one of these that every time I go out to my workshop, I turn the bowl and I'm going to use my 55-degree swept back bowl gouge. And that's what I use on every bowl. I can't do, I'm not that person. I have to mix it up and change it up. If I turn a bowl today with a bowl gouge, I'll be turning it tomorrow with a spindle gouge. The next day I'll probably do some carbide, and the next day I'll mix them up and use both. And I can't use one bowl gouge. I don't have a go-to bowl gouge or go-to spindle gouge. You know, I mean, yesterday I've done a bit with a spindle gouge and I used this one. Okay, very nice, perfect. But today I'm going to use this one. Why? Just because it's different. It's got a slightly different grind, works differently, feels different, changes it up, and that's all I like to do, is just change things up all the time. Obviously when they're small like this, they're nice because you can just come in and a little bit high there. There we go, down from there. No, I think that's going to be low. Hang on. Yeah, I am right. It's all right. I'm not thinking. I'm going to get that just round because I want to leave my lip on the top. Right, I'm getting that there, so... Right, okay, come in. I'll come round like that so I want a pot belly. The idea of these is they've got to be like, what you call a Roman shaped pot. Well, what I don't know what the name is for it. I call them Roman shapes. Right, that's my little foot there. Right, okay, now I'm just going to come up and put the final sort of cut on this. Well, there we go. That's our foot. And tear out. Oh, that's it, that's done. So a little bit of sand in. So I should have put this light on again, shouldn't I?
So, right to the doorway.
It does make it better.
Yeah.
little flat spot. We'll just feel it. Obviously it weren't perfect mark, still just a very slight flat on that rim. Still there. That's it. There we go. Trying to get rid of that. So put a little bit of sanding sealer on it. I know I'm just turning little tops again, but you know, it's what I've got to turn at the moment. I put them in these little sealed bags, but they're like child-proof, aren't they? Impossible to put in. There you go, done. Now, a bit of sanding sealer, sanding paste. One little bit. There we go. Bit of wax. Pop. There we go, look at that, nice and shiny. Right, okay. We stop that. Now we turn it round. Now, see, look. So you get some nice patterns, nice what they call the chatoynes and that. So it shines nice. If I'd done it as an end grain, it wouldn't be as nice. Especially on wood like this that is fairly boring, you know. It's not boring, but it's
Plain.
it's a plain wood. So there we go. We've got a nice little, again, little sort of Roman shape, little foot on the bottom. That's it. So now we pop out the worm screw. Right, now got our nice perfect circle. I'm not over tightening, I'm just getting it tight so that way it doesn't mark nothing. There we go. Now bring it down lower, because like I was saying, now I can use a spindle gouge to hollow it and do all that, but remove that out the way, my tail stock. I'll leave my spindle gouge out for a minute. But 12mm, see, so now I'll do the 12mm on the 16. And the reason I'm shouting again, I'm sorry, I'm shouting again. The reason I'm showing these chisels is because just recently, in the last couple of months or so, literally hundreds of these ones have gone out. I don't know why they've suddenly got very popular, but the round on the 16mm bar has. Now I don't do a square on these because I don't believe a square is any good on a round bar, unless you're using it on the spindle ones, which is for doing the skew work. Other than that, I don't use it. Also do the 9mm. Now, for doing these, in all honesty, that's the best chisel. A little 9mm on a round, but a little 9mm is perfect because they're only small pots. But I'm, like I said, I'm just demonstrating, so I'm just showing what I'm doing. Now I've got the 9mm on a 16mm bar, which again would be perfect for these sort of sizes. But what I'm doing, I'm just demonstrating my tools, because people keep asking. I had questions asked on this, could I put a video of me using these tools? I said, well, they're already out there. But in fairness, sir, there's over 200 odd videos out there now, and I can't even tell you where I've used them and what I've done. So I thought, yeah, fair enough, I'll do a couple and do some of my. Oh, you've seen loads with the Type 3 set and the standard chisels and all that. So I thought I'll do a little bit more with these ones. The Ultimate Hollower, I've hardly used this one, which is the Ultimate Hollower. As you know, it comes with the changeable heads on it. Perfectly honest, unless you do some real deep hollowing where you want that real heavy bar for stability, personally, my choice, which is why I very much don't use those, my choice is the 6mm hollower and the 8mm hollower just on the 12mm bar, because that will do virtually 90% of what most people do on these chisels. And that's again the 6 and the 8mm on the hollowers, and they're fantastic. And £36 free postage, better than the hollower. The hollower, the Ultimate Hollower, is dear. I say it's dear, but it's the amount of work that goes into it, so that's why it's dearer. And the metal's dearer as well, because when you start going up in the metal, it gets dearer. But personally, guys, if you don't do massive, or if you don't want that heavy gauge metal, which really you don't need, you've only got 6mm and an 8mm cutter, these perfect, absolutely perfect. My choice, 6mm, 8mm. I use them here in this handle because I don't tend to, I'm not doing deep work, so that is one of my favourite ones for hollowing. Okay, especially for this sort of work, this will hollow them all day long, never go blunt. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, what was I doing?
You was going to start hollowing.
Yeah. So I've done the 15mm yesterday, so I thought today what I'll do is I'll do just a little bit with a 12mm, just to show, you know, it's got on the 12mm as well. Now, the thing is, when it's on the 16, is what's happening here is the bar tends to get in the way a bit because it's such a thick bar, see? Being 16mm, it's more for stability if you're doing something and you want that heavier bar. On here I'm going to have to come up a little bit higher, because if your bar, like I've said before, if your bar is a bit big, then bring your tool rest up and you can get in there. And we'll take it down a little bit now because I'm coming up onto that top and I can't get there. That's it. But exactly the same. Use exactly the same as you used with the 15. Now, again, I say with these, you can't really get the push cut because it's too narrow, it's too straight aside. You'll come in and you're up, so you're going to end up catching. So you can't really push cut with this. Not on something this size. Got to watch there that I don't go in because that cuts in a bit. Now again, I can use the spindle gouge just to come down and get my side straight. So I'm going straight sided, see? So what I want to do is undercut and go in there. Now the problem is, like I say, with that thickness of bar, is I can't undercut and go in that way because it won't allow me to get in there, see? But the spindle gouge does. Right, still got that down to pretty much its depth, so we'll put that away, and what we'll do is we'll come in with, again, the 12mm, and we'll just clean up the bottom. Like I said, ideally, the 9mm is a better one for doing small stuff like this. As long as I drop that handle down, so I get a nice clean finish. Now I can't take it down thin here going in because, like I said, I've got a lip there, it goes in. There we go. It's alright. A little bit of an undercut in here. There we are. And like I said, I haven't even got to finish these because they're not needed for that. But that's the 12mm anyway. We're going to finish it because it's what you do, isn't it, you know? Got a little nipple in the bottom. Hang on. Got a little nipple. Let's get that 12mm back. That's better. There we go. Gone. Get rid of that. I hadn't actually put my finger in there to check, so right, there we go. Done. That's it. A little bit of that, and that's it. I'm going to leave that at that because, like I said, it's not going to be finished on the inside and the glue won't hold. But there we go. That's a hollowed out, and that's another little pot. Right, now what I was saying about with the grains, like with this, see? Put my worm screw in. Oh, that's moving. That's got it. It obviously gone on one of the corners and not on the flat, so there we go. Right, there we are. I'll start that up. Right, we'll use this spindle gouge this time. Another different one. Not quite. Right there. And just get a little, I think I'm a bit high there. My little foot. Tool rest down. It leaves it just at that point. There we are. We went across it. Because the tool rest is coming out a bit. So I'm losing it on that middle cut. Right, there we go. Now we get it. See? It's just the tool rest angle. Right, and that was another spindle gouge. So a different one again. Right, so a little sand, and then we'll see what we've got pattern-wise on it. And this is a piece of yew, so... These for me are just like fun turnings. I come out, it's not work. Although, yes, okay, someone is buying them and they're having them. It's not work for me. This is just fun. Okay, it's not what I do to earn a living. It's just it recuperates the cost of the timber and might buy a new tool or something. You know, you never know. Huh?
Another one.
Yeah, another one. It's not, like I say, turning things like this, well, you'll be very pushed to earn a living doing that. Yeah, look at that. Hardly any sealer or anything on that. Well, no, virtually no, hardly any sanding. But if you get a good cut on your tools, it's the finish you can get. I mean, it's probably most people know, but one of my favourite tools is a spindle gouge. It's got to be my favourite tool, really. I'd rate it a lot higher than I rate a bowl gouge, to be honest. But that's just me. Right, see what we got. See what it looks like. There, see now. If I'd done that as end grain, it wouldn't have looked anything like that. And that's why I don't like doing them as end grain. Yeah, see, there we go, guys, look. That's why, oh, let me bring it in the light. That's why, because I've got that lovely piece there. It just, you know, it gives a feature, it gives something beautiful. If that had just been a little strip, I probably would have lost most of it, because look, if that had just been a little strip down the side, it wouldn't look as nice. No. Wouldn't look anywhere near as nice. So that, to the question is, why didn't I turn it spindle? Basically, that's the main reason why. But again, not only that, I like turning it this way, this orientation. I find it's more fun to turn. That's it. Oh. That's it. Don't want to. Oh no, hang on. Now that's why you don't. I thought that was still turning, but I didn't. I over tightened that. I actually cracked that foot. Now there, that's what will happen if you over tighten. I actually cracked that foot on that. Right.
Is that what they say about the perfect circle?
Yeah, but if you get the perfect circle, you got to tighten up a little bit extra, because otherwise it'll slip. I just went a little bit tighter than I thought on that. Wouldn't normally tighten as much as that. I think that's got it. Right. Not a problem. I can fix that very quickly. I'll just turn another foot on it. Right, okay. Sorry about that, guys. I was talking and not really concentrating, and I went a bit tighter than I meant to go. So all we do is we'll take that foot off. Like so. A sharp bit on my nail there, look. That's annoying me, it's catching. Right, and what I'll do, I'm just gonna right, just put another little foot on it, that's all. That's all I'm going to do. Clean that up like that. So if you do break your foot, well, there you go. This is how you can just put another one on it. That's why I did that.
To demonstrate.
The one thing is, I don't cut it out. I won't cut it. I will show you it. If I make a mistake, then I'll show you I make a mistake. But that's why you don't want to over tighten, especially little things like this. Now, you'd never know that happened unless you watch the video.
Unless you skipped it, well, you didn't know anything anyway.
Right, there we go. We've just put another foot on it. Don't over tighten this one. Because I was too busy talking while I was doing it, and I wasn't really concentrating on what I was doing. And I went a little bit tighter. And this being you as well, I mean, for I know, it could have had a little fault in the wood anyway. No, I'm not going to use that excuse. It didn't. Right, okay, so we used the 12mm, so now on this one, what we'll do is we'll use the 9mm. So again, this is the 9mm on a 16mm bar. Now I don't need this tool to do this pot, but it's just for demonstrating it. But what I'm going to have to drop it in the handle a bit more before I go, because I've got too much pull. I don't know that this one will go down anymore. I think this is quite a long. No, it's very long as it is. It comes right out. There you go. I've got it in enough. It's a very long tool, this one. It's for getting right down deep into something. Not that I ever do, but there you go. And again, you can do your little bit of back hollowing on it. Yeah, that's nice. Right, got a bit deeper to go there. Yeah, near enough deep enough. There we go. Right, let's just have a little feel. Slight nipple, but I've got a fraction. I only got a little bit to go, but I've got a fraction deep on the bottom. But make sure that nipple's gone. Right, okay. The trouble is I can't see in there. Can't see anything. Right, we're nice and smooth, so we're just... Right, one more little pass up there, I think. Yeah, that's all right. No, I've been awkward because my handle is like, I can't go lower, my handle's touching the actual thing here, it's touching the lathe bed, so it's just too long a tool really. But I'm demonstrating this tool, so I've got to use it, haven't I? So there you go, a little bump there. Right, okay, we're gone. That's it, done. So do a little sand on that. All that matters is it's just the angles you go at. There we go. Put the sand seal on it. And that'll be it. There we go. Oh, you've still got a little bit of chipping on that front top there. I haven't gone deep enough. I'd have to go a bit deeper to take that chipping away. Little chip there. That was there when I started and I thought I'd got it, but I haven't. Never mind, we'll just do a little bit. Might have to get that with a spindle, Gaz, because I need to be a bit closer to it. That one will let me get close. Went a bit deeper than I thought it did. It's on that top edge. I had a chip in it. Now I think it's gone now. Got plenty to play with there anyway. Yeah, I think that's pretty much gone now. I couldn't get it with that 9mm because I couldn't drop the handle low enough. Right, I think that's all that needs to be anyway.
It's still there.
Huh?
It's still there.
Well, there's a couple of marks. I don't know whether it's actually a chip or a mark. Probably a tiny little bit, but it's not going to hurt. It's alright. There you go. You get the idea anyway. Look at that. Another little pot, hollowed out. Ain't got to be finished. Like I said, I don't need to finish the inside. But there you go, so that's why I like it. Take this off. Sorry, again shouting. Yeah, basically that was just to show the reason why I prefer to do it that way rather than end grain. Because end grain would have just given me straight patterns like that down it. where that gave me that pattern on the outside. So that's basically the reason why. Okay, and these have all got to have this bolt and lip. They've all got to have that little lip on them. Yeah. So that one's a bit thinner, that one. So there you go. So we're getting the collection of all these different little pots. Like I say, it's not. I'm not in no rush to turn them, so I'm just having fun doing them. They're not for making money out of. They're not something I'm earning any money from. It's just to. There you go. So we've just got a selection now, and I've got a few more. Well, I've got a hell of a lot more to do. So, but some have already gone. So yeah. It's not a case of that. Some have already gone. So there you go. But they're just all different shapes, all different sizes. That's how they're going to be, all different shapes and sizes. Okay. So there we are, guys. Hopefully that answered a couple of the questions. I know I did answer them on the YouTube, but sometimes it's easier to talk it through than other things. And with the tools, like I say, I'm going to be doing a few videos just showing the different tools. So I'll do a turning where I'll just use basically that. So it won't be one tool, because really, I mean, you can do things with one tool, but you need all the tools. You need as many tools as you can get. You really do. I think so. There's many tools. I have nowhere near enough tools. As I keep telling Lisa.
Yeah.
But
you can keep telling me.
But like I say, guys, at the end of the day, they all come down to the same thing. They're just a piece of metal that's sharpened. It's how you present it that makes a difference. It's not the tool for the cutting. Okay, it's not like, well, a bowl gouge cuts and something else scrapes, or carbide scrapes. Only scrapes if you use it as scraping. A spindle gouge, it can only cut if you present it with the angle to cut. If you roll it the slightest bit, it scrapes. Okay, it's no different. It's the same as a knife. A knife will cut if you fillet in a fish. You're slicing your fillet of fish. If you're going to descale a fish, you turn the blade up and you scrape it. It's the same thing. It's the same knife. It's just used different. The angle is what's important, not the steel, not the tool. It's the angle that you present it to the wood is what makes a difference. So when I present that cutter, which I showed you I was doing there, where I was using it, I can't really get in and do that cut as a push cut, because that's going to be up. It's a very narrow pot. You're going to get a nasty catch. Don't even try it. You will get a catch, I guarantee it. But turn the tool over, present it at that angle and go backwards. You get a perfect push cut. Shavings fly out, not scrapings, shavings. Why? Because of the angle I'm presenting the cutter to the wood, not the cutter. It's the same cutter. Okay, if I go in and just use it like that, it's just going to scrape. It's flat. People think they're flat. They can't cut, they only scrape because they're flat on top. And these are the carbide cutters because they're cut. These cut because they're cut. No, it cuts if you present it with its cutting edge. If you present it rolled just that slightest little bit, now it's scraping. Same as the knife on the fish is scraping. Same as this one. Okay, to think that because it's flat on top it doesn't cut, it can only scrape. What about carpenter's chisel? It's flat and it's got a bevel. Does it only scrape? I think you'll find that carpenter will tell you, my chisel cuts. Can cut a fag paper thin piece of wood. Okay, so there you go. It's only the angle you present it at. So that's where your things. If you're getting catches, it's just the angle. That's what it is. It's not the tool. It's not the sharpening. It's not your bevel. It's the angle you're presenting the tool at is wrong. You've got to get the angle right. Present it correctly. You won't get no catches. You won't get nothing. You won't get no tear out. You'll get lovely cuts. Right. That's me done. So I'm bored with that now. I'll do something else. I'll talk
Yeah.
about something else now. Right. I will see you on the next one, guys. And I'll turn something different. I won't turn another little pot. I'll turn something different. I don't know what exactly at the moment. I'm trying to think of something to turn that would just be totally different from everything else.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything. So the ballerina was good. I like turning that. Yeah, I'll turn a few of those. I got carried. I'll turn loads of them, and I think, oh, I don't want to turn no more. Then that's it. I'm done. I'm done. Adios. I'm done. Right. That's me out of here as well, guys. So I'm gonna say adios, and I'm done. So toodle pip, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.